Okay, so next up in this Dark Aeons is Dark Yojimbo, and if you want to get a full rundown of the stats, then check the Dark Bahamut video where I talk in detail about what my current stats are and why I have the equipment that I have. But if you watch that and you know what's up, it's time to pay Dark Yojimbo a visit. Okay, so to face Dark Yojimbo you need to come back to the Sunken Cave / Cavern of the Stolen Faith. And if you wish you can save here, and then if you ever need to reload the save then you can warp to the back and start again. But I prefer to head in myself and then save near the back of the cavern. So if you're going to do it that way, do not warp to the back, because if you warp to the back and start backtracking to get to the save sphere, then you'll encounter Dark Yojimbo. So just make sure you have your no encounters weapon equipped, because ain't nobody got time for those random encounters when you're trying to defeat the Dark Aeons. So take an extra minute to come down here, because it will save you a little bit of time, especially if you think you might need multiple attempts. And this way you should be able to save safely at the one down there. Okay. Right, so for this battle, especially the first one, I would advise that you have Auron. If you have a celestial weapon, have Auron out on the field, and I would replace him with Riku. I replace Riku with Auron. So make sure he has his first strike, and I will explain why very soon. So it's the same Dark Aeon summoner that we saw in Beaconel. Based on, I mean, surely they can't have just been very lazy and have two separate people have the same clothes. I don't know. So there he is. He does look pretty menacing. And remember, if you do want to escape from this, you can warp to the back of the front of the cavern, and you can run. But it's time to fight. We're done running. Yep, so the first one is an ambush, and because Auron's is the only celestial weapon that has first strike, you're going to want him there. So bring in Riku and make sure you're using Ultra Null. Now, Dark Yojimbo doesn't have the most HP, but you have to fight him multiple times. He has 1.6 million, but standout stats are 244 strength and 114 luck. So what's important here is that because of that 244 strength, he has a Wakizashi attack that hits everyone and has a pretty high damage constant. So when you're fighting the Dark Aeons, especially for this guy, you'll want 255 defense, you'll want auto protect, and you will want Ultra Null or Cheer ×5. Because once you have Ultra Null in there, even if he uses Wakizashi, you'll be able to survive. If he uses Kozuka instead, you have to make sure you dispel whoever it hits, because that person will now have armor break. So power break, magic break, armor break, mental break. So always make sure you're dispelling that, and make sure you're always at full HP. Very important. So Yoji has less defense. He has 210 defense in comparison to Dark Bahamut. So his only benefit is he has more luck, and he has that Wakizashi attack that you have to make sure you're prepared for. Because of that 114 luck, if you don't use Ultra Null, with 85 luck you could still miss him. So either use aim or Ultra Null to make sure that you're not missing him. Otherwise you're going to struggle. Especially if you have base luck, then you pretty much have no chance of hitting him. Very important. Make sure you always have max HP before you let Yoji attack. Because if he does use Wakizashi, he's going to do about 8,000 damage still, so need to be careful. This is just for easy healing, especially after Wakizashi. Daigoro, normally not a problem at all, but if you don't have Ribbon, then it's going to inflict poison on your characters, so that's going to be a little bit annoying. This time I'll use an antidote, but normally I'll be able to use a Owlbed potion from Riku, but because I'm going to get 2 attacks before that, it's better to just do it this way. So once you have your 255 defense and your 5 times cheer effect, then you'll be able to survive all of Dark Yojimbo's attacks apart from his overdrive. Okay, here it comes. There you go. So if you don't have the 5 times cheer, that attack will wipe you out even if you have maximum defense and you have protect 2. So very important. But once that's done, you're ready to roll. Make sure that you end the battle with a full overdrive. And I'll probably save my quick hits for the later ones. We don't really need it. Our agility is good enough anyway. And he's already below half HP. So once you have the luck to be able to hit him and you're able to survive Wakizashi, then this guy becomes a lot easier. Well, to be honest, you can waste MP for this if you want. It's really up to you, depends on your agility. Because you can always run back to the save sphere and just cancel it and get your MP back. So that's battle number 1. Very easy, once you know what you're doing. But like I said, it's a total of 5 times. Now I'm hoping, because I've got shit weapon drop so far, I'm hoping Yoji will change that because he has 5 opportunities to give me good weapons. Let's see what that was. Curse Proof and Ribbon. Okay, so Yojimbo's special kind of drop is Curse Proof. So all of the Dark Aeons can drop Ribbon armors, but only Yoji drops Curse Proof. For all intents and purposes, Curse Proof is useless on any kind of ultimate armor. You really won't need it. But that's that. Okay, so make sure you do not save, because then he will not pop up for the next encounter. So just be aware of that. You won't be ambushed for the next one, so don't worry too much about that. Actually, I wonder if there is a randomized chance of you being ambushed, I forget. I guess if I do get ambushed, we'll find out the hard way. I'm fairly sure it's only the first battle that results in ambush, but can never be too sure. Okay, straight away, ready to roll. And the only thing that ever changes about Dark Yojimbo is the speed at which his overdrive gauge increases. So I will let him use his overdrive at least once, so that we can see how that works. But at least for the first 3 battles it's going to be pretty slow. Might as well entrust. I'm not going to bother using the overdrives of these 2 because it's easy enough without it. Yeah, I'll just use X potions until I see Wakizashi. It's not even worth the trio of 999. I have the items anyway. So, because his HP is only 1.6 million for any given battle, that makes things a lot easier. And he's refusing to use his more powerful attacks as well, so there's not much I can do about that. Alright, let's keep going. Done. Like I said, the first 3 are pretty easy, but from the 4th one onwards his overdrive gauge gets to noticeably quicker levels. So if you're trying to solo this guy, by the time you get to the 4th battle, it will start to be a lot more difficult. And when I actually show you the overdrive, you'll understand why. Okay, super goalie for Waka. Again, curse proof, he likes to drop curse proof. Yeah, MP's looking fine, let's just continue. So if you want, every single time you can backtrack to replenish your MP and HP, but we don't need to do that. Riku has a full overdrive. Yep. I believe you don't get random encounters here, so even if you unequip your no encounters weapon, I think you don't get random encounters. I might be wrong. Okay, so you need to make sure you come to the green room, otherwise you won't get all 5 encounters. So even though this is, you know, off the main path, you need to make sure you come here. We meet again. So it's a shame. I would have liked, you know, something to change other than the speed of his overdrive gauge. It would have been nice. Maybe a steady gradual increase in HP, or you know, maybe the first one doesn't use Wakizashi, or the power of Wakizashi goes up every time or something. But I'm asking for too much. No, he just loves using Daigoro. Why? It's just making sure that you always have max HP. It's an easy thing to just overlook and just keep attacking, but you have to make sure you take that extra 5 seconds to heal up. Below half already. I'm going to save on MP because I can't bother to backtrack to the save sphere every time. There we go. Lovely. So remember, healing water is 116,000 for 16 from the Anaconda and Calmlands if you want to get your hands on some of them quickly. Or you can just steal them from Adamantoises. Adamanti? Whatever. Oh yeah, no more quick hit. Oh yeah, a lot of people wanted to see Aurochs wheels. Why not show you Aurochs wheels? I think in my 8 years of Final Fantasy X playing, I have only ever used this once. But since I have shown so much, you know, I've tried my best to show everything there is to show for this game, it kind of makes sense to show Aurochs wheels. And we'll also see Blitz Ace from Tidus as well, because during the stat maxing process I also learnt that, so we'll get to see it. Oh shit, I have no idea how to do this. How am I supposed to do this? Oh, okay, I managed to get that one. Yes. Oh, this is just madness. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this. No, fuck. It hit for less than 100,000. That's terrible. Ah. I don't have enough time to practice Aurochs wheels. I can't bother to practice it to learn the perfect thing. Honestly, I can't remember ever trying to do that more than once in my entire Final Fantasy X playing life. Okay, another armor for Waka. Shutout, I think, means ribbon, so that's a good start. Excellent, so there you go. Finally, if you're building an ultimate break HP limit armor, just stick auto haste and auto regen on this, and you should be good to roll. And I guess you could replace ribbon with auto protect depending on who you're fighting, but yeah, that's a pretty good armor. Oh, damn that Aurochs wheels. I might have to put a link into someone who has kind of mastered it and is using it properly, so because apparently someone told me that it has a really cool animation. There's not one that I can personally remember, but if it's good, it might be worth seeing. Okay, Dark Yojimbo number 4. And the man with invisible feet. So this is why I said just make sure you always have the full overdrive before coming into the next one. So you can get going with that straight away. So the overdrive gauge will charge ever quicker. And it's more to do with when Yojimbo uses his moves, so it's, that's when you'll really notice the gauge kind of jump up. Stop using Daigoro, damn it. I'm pretty sure for the 5th and final one we'll definitely see the overdrive at least once. But then again, if you can defeat him solo without having to see it, I'm pretty sure we could as well. So I will purposely show Dark Yojimbo's Zanmato anyway. Because it's pretty awesome. Not quite as awesome as our own Yojimbo Zanmato, but pretty good nonetheless. No, just loves using that Daigoro. Let's see Blitz Ace. Now you can see how it goes. There is a chance I might miss this because I don't use Blitz Ace that often actually. But if you remember when I think if you've ever watched my movie versions, in the movie versions Lulu always throws it. And I'm sure you know why that's the case. But because I've spent so much time with Riku on the front line, now it's Riku that I have the highest affinity with, so she's the one that throws it. So with Blitz Ace you have 8 hits that are fairly low, so in terms of damage constant they are weak, and you have one final attack which if you manage to get the timer thing correct, then you'll hit maximum damage. So against very low defense enemies you can get up to 900,000 damage, but as you saw against high defense enemies it's not going to be that great. But almost all of the time it is better than what's it called? Slice and Dice. Only against very high defense enemies, Slice and Dice is better. Okay, still not dying. Not going to take any risks. I really love the look of Yojimbo's attacks. Excellent. So, now, Riku doesn't have an overdrive. Let's see how things play out differently now. I can entrust, but... Okay, so this time Riku didn't get an overdrive because I wasn't predicting that Waka would kill it on the counter attack, so I need to watch out. Actually, I want to be 100% sure that, but then again I don't have the overdrive, so it doesn't really matter. Still, I want to be 100% sure that it's not an ambush. Because if the last one's an ambush, I'll be very disappointed. He's saying this is the last one. Then again, now I do think it's a woman. I think it is a woman. It's the outfit kind of deceives me, but I think it's a lady. I guess that explains how she managed to get into such a good disguise in Beacon L. Okay, it wasn't an ambush. Okay. Oh, I missed. You see, I don't have the Ultra Null, so that's why I missed. Where's Entrust? There it is. Okay, let's do the usual. Right. Okay, he opened up with Wakizashi. He means business this time. Now I am going to... You see that overdrive gauge really shot up this time, so I will let him use overdrive. Now, what do you need to know about Dark Yojimbo's Zanmato? What you need to know is that your characters cannot survive it, and it also dispels auto-life. So that's a very bad combination. So what that means is you have no other choice but to summon one of your own Aeons in order to take the hit for you. So that's very important. You cannot survive Zanmato with your characters. What's interesting is when you do summon an Aeon, let's say your Aeon has 255 defense. If you cast Cheer on yourself 5 times and you also shield as well, then you can bring down the damage done by Dark Yojimbo Zanmato to around the 40,000 mark. So at around 45,000 HP, your Aeon should be able to survive Dark Yojimbo Zanmato. Because it's a special attack, your characters can't do the same, because shield, remember, it reduces damage by 3/4, so your characters don't have an ability like that. But that's why your Aeons are special in that regard. So they can survive Dark Yojimbo Zanmato when your characters cannot. Okay, I'm going to let it have one more attack, and that should bring it pretty close to overdrive. Because I'm scared I'm going to kill it now. I doubt it's one hit away. Surely it's not one hit away. Okay. I'm hoping this should be enough to bring it to overdrive. Obviously, remember, if you don't have max defense, you can always make sure that you shield like that before, but that's going to waste a lot of turns, so you need to waste at least 3 turns defending every time. Okay, there's that full overdrive. Let's bring in Yuna. Let's summon the Mega Sisters for once, why not? And we will see Dark Yojimbo Zanmato. He has 244 strength and it has a damage constant of 250. So it's pretty incredible. That low luck. Alright, here we go. I love this attack to bits. I would have preferred to see our own Yojimbo's Zanmato also had the same damage constant, but it was the only attack that was able to break the damage limit, so even the 100,000 barrier, so it could do 600,000 damage in one hit, and you could see all of those numbers on the screen, because the attack just looks so powerful, it deserves to have like a figure like that pop up on screen, I think. But that's just me. Obviously a lot of people, you know, we always love the cheapness of Zanmato, and the way it can help us to defeat every single enemy in the game. Especially if we're playing the HD Remaster or the EU version of the PS2 version of the game. So this is a problem. If he uses Wakizashi, Yuna is stuck in the front line. But it wasn't fast enough. It's over. Yoji's gone forever. Say bye bye. Again, the dog is still left behind. Always weapons for Waka. How do they see out of that thing? One of the weirdest outfits of anyone. But I do love that final interaction. It's almost like, look, there's nothing more I can do. I'm out of here. So kind of a show of respect from the person that summoned Dark Yojimbo. Okay, we're done, and that leaves one final Dark Aeon. And funnily enough, it is the Dark Aeon that made me start this channel in the first place. So when I come back, we'll be defeating Dark Anima.